you're losing your impact, you're losing your influence, and you never know why it is so. Listen to me, and in the next minute, I'll explain to you why you are losing your influence and your impact. You never give out threats because you are afraid to. And even when you give out threats, you fail to follow through. Listen, when you give out threats and you fail to follow through on your threats, gradually, you lose your impact and you lose your influence. This is not what 10x's do. 10x's follow through effortlessly with their threats. So if you want to regain your influence, if you want to regain your impact, make sure you follow through with your threats. But then before we continue, know that threats are not inherently bad, and threats are used to compel, modify, and shape behavior. So in the instance where it is right to give out threats, do not be afraid to do so. And to gain your impact, as I said, you should be able to follow through with your threats effortlessly. Never compromise on following on your threats. Otherwise, if you continue, you will still continue to lose your impact and your influence. So next time, when it's right to give out threats, do not be afraid to do so. And before giving out the threats, ask yourself, when the situations are not met or when the conditions are not met, will you be able to follow through on that threat and make a promise with yourself to never ever compromise? That is how you gain influence. That is how you gain impact. That is how you gain the power to compel, shape, and modify people's behavior. Because listen, somebody will act or not act based on your capacity and your capability to follow through on your threats. So as a CEO, you give out a threat that anybody who submits the assignment latest by this deadline will be dropped from the team. When that happens, you need to drop that person from the team, because that shows that you are really serious, and that shows that you take your word for what they are. And that is a good example to set for the team, and it's a way to gain your impact and your influence. Thank you very much, and do not let this information go to waste.